session on the story of Kargil Vijay Diwas. I thank you all for giving your time for the session. I am NCC Art Bharat from Gopal Engineering College, 4th year Naval Technical Unit, NCC, Madras Group B. Here, with the blessings of late Colonel Dr. Jethia, founder of Haycourt Educational Trust, and with the support of Dr. M. Regina Jethia, Chairman and Managing Director of Jethia Group of Institutions, and Dr. B. Nararajan, Principal of Gopal Engineering College, Chennai. We are joining the webinar on the story of Kargil Vijay Diwas. It's our pleasure in welcoming Commander D. Shivasankar, Executive Officer of 4th year Naval Technical Unit, NCC. And also we are glad to welcome Retired Officer Captain Deenadayalan sir for this webinar. And a warm welcome to all the officers, aircraft, airmen, NCC cadets, professors, students, and all other participants to the live stream session on the story of Kargil Vijay Diwas. A little instruction before we get started. If you have any queries during the session, kindly type them in the comment section. The e-certificate link will be provided at the end of the session in the comment box. Now we will move on to the session. In 1999, Pakistan soldiers infiltrated into the position on the Indian side of the line of control. This ended up with the war between India and Pakistan in Kargil district. Finally, on 26 July 1999, India successfully took command of the high outpost which has been occupied by Pakistan. So that in India, every year 26 July is celebrated as Kargil Day in honor of the Kargil War period. Here, we are pleased to welcome retired officer Major Madan Kumar sir, the speaker of today's session. He is a retired Indian Army officer and currently the Director of Troops India Service Private Limited. He served in 8th Battalion Jammu and Kashmir Light Infantry in Poonch sector and in Coast Raptor Rifles, Delta Force and counter-terrorism roles in Jammu and Kashmir. He is an able journalist and a founder member of Armor of Care, a group of faithless volunteers who actively work to uplift people during the disasters like floods, cyclones, and now currently feeding thousands of poor and needy people during this pandemic era. And today, he will be sharing his knowledge on Kargil Vijay Diwas. Please join me in welcoming our retired officer, Mr. Madan Kumar sir.
Thank you, Bharat. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for inviting me for this webinar on behalf of JPR Engineering College, one of the reputed institution in Tamil Nadu. And being a Sunday, everybody has taken their time out. I really thank you and looking forward for a fruitful interaction in this. As we speak today is the 21st year of glory, the Kargil Vijay Diwas, the day we captured back all our peace, and the day we declared the win of the Kargil War was today. So it's been 21 years, life has moved on for most of us, and this is a time, this is a day we need to certainly go back to our history and go back and see what our army has done for us, what our soldiers have done for us, both army, navy and air force, and other paramilitary forces, to secure the borders of this country. So where it all started, so when you will see, I'll just like to take you all through a presentation so that we can have a recapture of the history exactly as it was.
Sir, audio is low, sir. Shall you increase your volume, sir?
Can you hear me now? Is my audio clear? Or I can use a headphone.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Sir, not audible, sir. There is some issue, I think so.
Go without the.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Okay. I'll just switch off picking up some background noise. Okay, let me take you through the history of where it is, where it all started, why did it happen, and how did it end. So year 1999, where then Prime Minister Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee went to Lahore to kind of get the friendship back and the trust back with Pakistan, so that we don't keep fighting with our neighbors. So to build up the trust, then President of Pakistan, Mr. Nawaz Sharif, and our Prime Minister, Sri Abdul Abdul met in the month of March under Lahore Accord time. So it was basically to demilitarize certain areas, build up trust relation and commerce. So that's the way we wanted to progress. That's what we believe. And at the backdrop of this, the Pakistan Army's Chief of Staff, General Pervez Musharraf, had a big
Sir, excuse me, sir. Still they saying voice is not audible, sir. Shall you increase your volume, sir? Oh, yes, sir. Okay, sir. கொஞ்சம் லவுடாக பேச முடியுதான்னு பாருங்க சார். எஸ் சார். எஸ் சார். எஸ் சார். எஸ் சார். எஸ் சார். எஸ் சார்.
பரவாயில்லடா ஏதாவது கேட்டுச்சுல இப்போ சுத்தமா கேட்கலடா வெறும் வாய் மட்டும் தான்டா செய்யுது சூர்யா.
occupy the heights in the winter, where it's a winter vacated post of Indian Army. During the peak of winters, the temperature soars down to -30 to -50 as such. So we always withdraw our forces mutually between India and Pakistan and occupy them back in summers. So this opportunity was used by Pakistan. Pakistan regular army just portrayed themselves as so-called mujahids, fighters, the terrorists as such in our language. So they infiltrated the heights and they occupied the heights and placed themselves there.
Maybe sir, again I have the technical issue, like not get the audible. Surya, can you check the audibility?
Yes sir, everything is fine here, sir.
Okay.
Now,
No, but
now audible, sir. They're saying now audible.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So Pakistan went and occupied the heights of Kargil, Dras and Batalik and to south of Siachen Glacier in an attempt which was very clear to occupy the Kargil heights and to fire on the supply lines of India. The first patrol, how did we get the information? We always do a area domination patrolling in that area. Even though we have vacated the post, we always go visit back those areas to see whether enemy presence is there or not. Captain Saurav Kalia of the 8th Jat Regiment was assigned the duty of taking the patrolling to those sites. And when they reached those sites, there was a communication cutoff, and Captain Saurav Kalia's patrol, the entire patrol, could not be traced. Panic raised up in our side. There was a concern. So we further gained our intelligence, and it was found in the mid of May that it is not the regular terrorist infiltration which has happened in Kargil. It is a regular Pakistani trained force of Northern Light Infantry
they just came in and occupied the Kargil Heights. Emergency meetings were held to deal with the situation. By then, after 2 weeks, Captain Saurav Kalia's body was handed over to us by the Pakistani army. So this was the headline at that time. It was the bodies were brutally tortured. They were tortured brutally with cigarette butts, piercing of eardrums, puncturing their eyes. Their eyes were removed. It's definitely not for a weak-hearted person to even think of it. That's the kind of torture which Pakistani army did to our soldiers and to this brave officer, Captain Saurav Kalia. Against the conventions, Geneva Conventions, against all the rules which was broken by Pakistani army, they then once again proved they are a rogue army, unlike a disciplined force like us. I will take you through the epitome and the professionalism of the forces of India while we dealt with their dead bodies of their soldiers. So this is one photograph which is kind of masked, was shown in televisions those times of what kind of torture they incited on our soldiers. Finally, after this, India formally launched a counter-offensive against the Pakistan army. It was named as Operation Vijay. Then Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee came on national television and he announced Operation Vijay as a formal counter-offensive against Pakistan. So we take this opportunity to know, understand about the immortals of the Kargil. When I say immortal, these soldiers who are not with us today, the 547 soldiers who laid their life for us, and other 1,000+ soldiers who were brutally injured with their limbs, with one of the major disability, couldn't come back to action again. We dedicate this day to this supreme sacrifice and the valor and courage of the forces which was shown in the peaks of Kargil. Our Chief of Army Staff, General, was the leader who led this war for us. At the mid of May, it was decided that it's going to be a full-fledged war. So we are not going to handle it as a terrorist infiltration. So it was decided to go launch a full counter-offensive operation against Pakistan within our territory in Kargil, Dras, Batalik, and in south of Siachen Glacier. The story and the valor of the soldiers who fought is huge. We can talk for months and months together. In the interest of time, in the interest of the time, limited time we have, I would like to take through one story which is way beyond any movies we would have seen, which is way beyond anything we could imagine. That is Lieutenant Manoj Kumar Pandey, Veer Chakra of 1st Battalion 11 Gorkha Rifles. He was born on 25 June 1975 in a small village in Uttar Pradesh. Born to a very poor family, as an eldest son, he rose up with his duties. His passion and dream was always joining the Indian Army and to always serve this country. He left us on 3rd July 1999 when he was 24 years old, but he will live in the memories of us. He is the legend and part of the history of this country forever. What a life to lead. What a life to lead. It's not about how many days we live. It's not about what money we gain in our life. It's not about what fame we gain in our life. It's about being part of this great country's history. That's what this proud and the brave soldier did. He is an alumnus of the prestigious National Defence Academy, Khadakwasla, Pune, and then later he graduated from Indian Military Academy, Dehradun, and got commissioned as a lieutenant in the 1st Battalion 11 Gorkha Rifles. During his first 1.5 to 2 years of service, he served in the most inhospitable terrain, which is close to Siachen Glacier, and his field tenure was over and their battalion was moving back to Pune. as a peace tenure. So whenever a battalion is posted in a hard area, after 2.5 years, they get posted to a place like Pune or a peace station for them to recover, reorg, train, and go and fight back again. But when this battalion landed up in Pune, the war of Kargil started, and this battalion was tasked to move back to Kargil because they were already acclimatized. Lieutenant Manoj Kumar Pandey had an option of going on leave. Rather, he chose a different path. He saw an opportunity. He saw an era of epitome, which is the Kargil war. So he wanted to be part of it. So he, along with his battalion, quickly moved to Kargil and took over the responsibilities there. When they went to Kargil, there was no time of induction. The weapons were SLR, self-loading rifle. There was a transition which was happening at that time. Indian Army was formally moving from the age-old single loading rifle SLR to a modern 5.56 Inzas rifle which was developed by our own country. So the terrain was tough. The enemy was formidable. The enemy was occupying the peaks. There were huge casualties which was happening on the Indian side. The logistics of the Indian Army at that point of time was also not up to that mark because the enemy was already prepared. So everything was against us except the formidable will of the soldiers. This is a war which was fought by the soldiers between an age group of 20 to 25. This was the war which was won by the young men of the forces. Their average age was 20 to 25. The commanding officers who were on the ground, the lieutenant colonels, captains, majors, the Jawans, the Subedar majors, these are the people who fought this war for us. This is not a war of machines. This is not a war of, the missiles. This was a war purely fought by sheer determination, grit of our men. I take this opportunity to speak about the 80s kids. We all speak about 90s kids. I am part of a 90s kids generation. These are the people who stood for the country when it was needed, and they protected us from the evil, nefarious war design of Pakistan. These are the people who propelled and motivated for the generations to come. When this war was happening, most of us, my batchmates, we were either in the second or third year of our college. This war became a turning point. Every war which is fought teaches us something. This war also did teach us something. It motivated most of us who were in college during 1999 and 2000 to pick up and look at armed forces as a career. So we are all proud followers of our great leaders like Lieutenant Manoj Kumar Pandey. Now, to summarize and to get into the detail of the heroic act and the audacious courage and the leadership which this young officer displayed to the world at the age of 24. Lieutenant Manoj Kumar Pandey's platoon was tasked to capture the Jubar Heights of Kalada Hills. It was a tough mission. The enemy was sitting at a formidable post, and the enemy, this particular post has got a very, very strategic important role because that's a supply line for Pakistanis who are sitting in the Kargil Heights. This is a supply line which has to be cut off, to further forces can go and attack those posts and clear before the winter sets in again. It is one of a mission critical operation, and it was a turning point in the entire history of Kargil war. So at this young age, to climb up the Kaluvar hills and to capture such a mission was taken by this daredevil in face of treacherous terrain. As I said, everything was against the Indian forces. The weather was against. What we were wearing was against. The weapons transition was happening. Enemy was sitting at a very formidable post. So everything was going against us except the God's grace and the soldiers' will. Now let's see what has happened on that day, the 3rd of July 1999 at Kalubar Heights. It was a terrain where they have to trek at an inclination of 80 degree as up to 90 degree. which means you cannot walk up the hill. You have to crawl, and you have to be on all four. All four limbs has to be there to climb up the hill. That's the task which they were carrying out. That's the terrain which they were moving in. So they flanked. The plan was to take up a different approach. Enemy was facing us. It was a high casualty route where we went in up facing the enemy and we were getting shot. So Lieutenant Manoj Kumar Pandey was tasked to take up a different route to approach this particular post from the rear. The terrain was tough. It was impossible. In any military history, in any military book, this seems to be impossible, which cannot be attempted ever. But this man took the challenge. He climbed up a treacherous terrain, a trek of 14 hours with a battle load of 20-25 kgs. They hardly carried any food. They carried ammunition. They carried food. They didn't carry food. They carried ammunition. Water was very limited. They were surviving on few packets of biscuits. They climbed up. Lieutenant Manoj Kumar Pandey could reach the first post. He could see 2 Pakistani soldiers firing at our Indian forces. Before they could reach there, the enemies were firing trip flares, which is an illumination at the middle of the night. They fire an illumination round. They see light the area, and then they see what is happening on the ground. They sense the Indian forces there. They started firing indiscriminately. The kind of the weapons they used, anti-aircraft gun, which could fire 1,000 rounds in a minute. They fired aerial rounds of mortars. They fired heavy machine guns. It is impossible to even imagine such a battlefield where there have been fired volley of bullets just because Pakistanis were aware, if we are going to lose this post, then we are going to lose this war. The supply lines will be cut off. They will not even have time or the route to retreat. If they have to run back, they cannot run back. They will be getting killed. Their troops will be getting killed, and the troops will be getting... But still, the mission doesn't matter. The man behind the mission matter. These guys went all out. There were airmen, the officers, the pilots. They went all out to support the ground forces. In the event of it, we lost 1 helicopter with 4 of our men, and we had 1 aircraft shot down by the Pakistani air defense missile. And the officer's name was Flight Lieutenant Nashiketa, who landed up in the enemy territory, was captured by Pakistan, taken as prisoner of war, and later on was released once the Kargil war was over. Moving on to Navy, we could hardly know the Navy's role in Kargil war because it was fought in the heights of Kargil. What could Navy do? Yes, Navy did launch an operation. It was called Operation Palwar. The operation was to go close to Pakistan's Karachi in the event of a full-fledged war. Idea was to go bomb Karachi and destroy the Karachi completely, their economic capital of Pakistan. Navy was geared up. Their nuclear submarines, their warships moved very close to Karachi, and they were staying put there. Pakistan Navy was in defense. They vacated most of the Karachi vital installations, and they were trying to face the enemy. They are trying to face the enemy, which is us. So this is the role of Navy. Navy was not directly involved in the combat as such, but Navy did have a vital role to play. If this would have got escalated in a full-fledged war with Pakistan, it was the Navy who would have done disaster to their economic capital, which is Karachi. Meet our heroes. We just know and we just spoke about the valor, the courage of Lieutenant Manoj Kumar Pandey, Paramveer Chakra. These are the men whom I want you all to know, especially the millennium generation. What we see out in movies or what we see out in real life, it is different. For a change, let's see our real life heroes. 18 Grenadiers, Subedar Yogindra Singh Yadav, who was again a Paramveer Chakra, played a vital role in capturing back the Tiger Hill. Major Rajesh Adhikari, Mahavir Chakra. Major R. Vishwanathan, Veer Chakra. 2 Rajputana rifles, which played a vital role in Kargil war. Major General Mohinder Puri, who was the General Officer commanding of 8th Mountain Division, who led this entire war. 18 Grenadiers, a brave battalion which got 1 PVC, Paramveer Chakra, and a lot of other gallantry awards during this. This battalion, 2 Rajdev, are the ones who had suffered maximum casualties. Irrespective of it, these are the brave men who got the Kargil back to us. Major Sonam Wangchuk, sir, is fit and fine even today. He spoke about quitting Chinese goods, including Chinese apps a couple of months back. He was part of Ladakh Scouts and he was called the Tiger of Leh, the savior of Leh, Major Sonam Wangchuk. These are the RT guns, the Bofors, which we fired. Indian artillery played a vital role for the ground forces to go and capture back those peaks. Another great hero, Captain Vikram Batra of 13 Jammu and Kashmir Rifles. The famous saying, the famous caption, Dil Mange More. He is that brave officer who had set the tone for this entire Mushok Valley recapture. He is again posthumous, not with us physically, but these are the legends who saved the country for us. Captain Anuj Nair, Mahavir Chakra, 13 Jack Rifles, who is now a battalion which has 2 Paramveer Chakras, the bravest of the brave of the Indian Army. They have a lot of other battle honors, they have fought a lot of other wars, but Kargil highlighted the valor and the determination, the professionalism of this particular battalion of Indian Army. These are the heights, the graphical satellite images, which was led, these 2 heights where you can see the Kalubar was the story of Lieutenant Manoj Kumar Pandey, which we just saw a couple of minutes back. And the battalion is none other than the 1st Battalion 11 Gurkha Rifles. These are our blazing RT guns firing on the hills. The other hero, Captain Kangaroos, Mahavir Chakra. Coming to the battle point 4875, which was fought by 17 Jat Regiment. Colonel Ravindranath Sir, Veer Chakra, who is retired now. Lieutenant Colonel Y.K. Joshi, now the current Army Commander of Northern Command, who is again leading the Indo-China conflict now. He was the one who was commanding 13 Jack Rif at that time. Rifleman Sanjay Kumar, again from 13 Jammu and Kashmir Rifles, again a Paramveer Chakra. We should all learn about the battles which these people fought. There are a lot of videos, the biographies which have been telecasted by Doordarshan and couple of other channels. There are good authentic ones in the YouTube as well. I request you all to go and read out there. We are facing a very tough time. We are facing a pandemic which we have never seen in our life. Our lives are in shambles. We are facing a lot of issues. We are facing a lot of frustration, lockdown, job losses, economy. People are near and dear ones dying because of this virus. This is a time when you go back and read this brave men's history, and we will feel what we are facing today is not even a percentage what they have faced. It will give us a lot of confidence. It will help us regain our confidence. We see a lot of suicides happening. This is the time, best time or the better time to go and revisit back and learn about our true heroes of our country, at least for the sake of gaining our reconfidence in the current day scenario. This is the famous summary photograph of the recapture of Tiger Hill and a Pakistani mortar which is there. One of the historic photographs and one of the most Googled photographs till date, etched in the memory of the Kargil war. Major P. Acharya, Lieutenant Manoj Pandey, whom we spoke about, my personal inspiration. This is the capture of Juba Top by 111 Gurkha Rifles. There are 2 Naga battalions who took part in the Kargil war. Both of them had their own saga, their own epitome. They played a vital role. They suffered the maximum number of casualties, but they laid the foundation for the victory of the Kargil war. So these are the places where the Pakistanis occupied their post. So we had an official casualty of 547 soldiers. who attained martyrdom for the safety of us, and another 1,000 plus injured soldiers who are either injured permanently or validated out of service post the Kargil war. This is a war memorial day dedicated for the fallen soldiers of Operation Vijay. Do visit this place when you all go up to Leh or when you go on a holiday. This is the place where you will feel, you will get to feel, I'm rest assured, be rest assured, you will be on tears when you visit this place. You will actually feel those men living there. They will never die. A soldier never dies. He is just a flower who withers away. You will see those flowers there. You will see our brave men living still there. You will feel the presence of them. To tribute to our heroes, this is the etched and the war memorial of it. Soul of the men we honor enrolled on the scroll of fame are the millions who go unmentioned, the heroes we never name. Those who won us the victories and conquered along the way, those who had made the nation worth we pay. The very famous photograph of Captain Vikram Batra, Paramveer Chakra, when he captured an enemy gun, heavy machine gun, he said, Dil Mange More. The generation next to us knows Dil Mange More as a caption of Pepsi, the very famous Pepsi drink, but this was coined by none other than this proud soldier, Captain Vikram Batra, Paramveer Chakra. Now I'll take few minutes to speak about Major Mariyappan Saravanan from Tamil Nadu, who laid his life for us, who was awarded Veer Chakra, and who was named the hero of Batalik. I would take this opportunity to speak about Mariyappan sir. He passed out from Officers Training Academy, Chennai. He got commissioned into the 1st Regiment of Bihar, 1st Bihar we call it. He just had 4 years of service when he reached Kargil, and he was one of the first officer who was killed in the Kargil war, and his mortal remains, his body was retrieved at the end of Kargil war. His body was lying at the peaks of Batalik, buried in the snow, and only in the end of the war we could retrieve this brave soldier's body. I am finding it a bit difficult to narrate this story because it's very closely to me, because I am also from the very same academy, Officers Training Academy, Chennai. He is one of our inspiration for the entire officers who pass out from OTA Chennai. A very brave and a gallant officer. He was codenamed Chengiz Khan. He led the team of his Veer Biharis of the 1st Bihar Battalion, and he was tasked to capture point 4268. It was in the earlier days of Kargil, in the month of May, where we had very limited information about the enemy strength, the kind of terrain which we are climbing up, and the kind of weapons and the intelligence which we lacked at the initial stage of the war. When he climbed up a treacherous climb, again at an inclination of 80 to as bad as 90 degree, his men kept falling down. There were casualties, but nothing could stop this leader from moving up. He decided to go up, and when he was close to the objective, just 200 meters away from the Pakistani post, his commanding officer gave him a call on the radio, and he said, Saravanan, please come back. We are suffering too much of casualties. We will attack later. We will reorganize and attack later. What he said at the radio set is there on this PPT in front of your eyes. Not today, sir. We are very close to the objective. That's a word which took him. That's his last word to his battalion back. He refused to come back. He moved forward. He took a rocket launcher himself, fired at the Pakistani post, killed 4 Pakistani soldiers, 8th Gen, and he was brutally shot at. Even then, nothing could stop him. The volley of bullets which Pakistanis were firing on him couldn't stop him at all. He charged into the enemy bullets. He charged onto the enemy, went up to kill 2 more Pakistani soldiers before finally he was shot down, dead. This is the valor of a proud soldier, Major Mariyappan Saravanan, Veer Chakra of the 1st Bihar Regiment. He is an inspiration. There is a Mariappan Memorial Trust which is run based out of Trichy. The family runs it. This hero, this legend serves to the needy even today. That is the kind of leadership which you would like to watch. He will continue to remain as an inspiration for the millions of generations to come. This famous soldier, the legend, said to his battalion when he was climbing up for the final assault on July 3rd, 1999, if death strikes me before I reach and prove my blood, I swear I will kill death. That's the kind of attitude he had. One thing I would like to say about Lieutenant Manoj Kumar Pandey, Paramveer Chakra, is when he was giving an interview, the Service Selection Board SSB interview to join army, everybody is asked a question, why do you want to join army? So everybody has their own answer. His answer was very clear, one line, I want to win the Paramveer Chakra. He had won it, he is not with us physically, his memories will be etched in each and every Indian. 130 million population takes pride on these soldiers who had laid down their life for us. I take this opportunity at the end of this presentation. Let's all stand up for a minute, close our eyes and salute our heroes who had laid our life for us, who had fought with everything they could to safeguard our country. We are at the end of our presentation. So in this brief time, we heard about the story of Lieutenant Manoj Kumar Pandey, Paramveer Chakra. We heard a lot about how we fought this war, what all went into it, what kind of sacrifice people did. We as a peace-loving nation, we never want to get into a war. We have never waged a war against a country, but in the defense of the nation, if a war is forced on us, we will fight the last man, last bullet. This day, it is disheartening to see. I take this opportunity to address a very core issue. We saw the sacrifice, the blood and sacrifice which our soldiers have given, and we are giving till date, and who will be giving for generations to come. This is the time where we could see on TV debates, where we see on social media, whether we should stand up for our national anthem or not. This is sad. This is not the way we pay our respect to our fallen soldiers, to the freedom fighters of this country, and to the people who are saving us till date. Standing up for the national anthem until unless you are terribly ill is the basic need and the responsibility of each and every citizen. This generation has too much of information. There are a lot of free thoughts we speak about. Freedom of speech is absolutely a constitutional right of each and every citizen. But please remember, this freedom of speech comes with a heavy price, a very heavy price we just saw in the last 40 minutes. Please restrain from doing such things. It is not that everybody is doing it. Less than 2-3% of the people are challenging about national anthem or challenging about saluting the flag. Please take pride in our flag. Please take pride in our flag. Please take pride in our national anthem. Because remember one thing, this flag stands by the breath of the soldier, not by the wind. I take this opportunity to thank JPR Engineering College to give this opportunity to narrate the valor and the courage of our soldiers and the professionalism of our faces. I deliberately avoided showing certain photographs of the fallen Pakistani soldiers. Pakistan army refused to take back their dead bodies. We stood there in the peaks of the treacherous mountains. We gave them the burial as per their religious tradition, and we saluted there. End of the day, a soldier is a soldier. Thank you all, and I hand it over back to the anchor. Today, at the end of this presentation, I would request everyone to stand up and observe a minute of silence and salute our heroes who are laid their lives for us and who are still living for us, who fought this war for us. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. And finally, we request you all to stand up and close your eyes for a minute to pay tribute to our Kargil heroes. Jai Hind. Let's finish the session with a vote of thanks. Bharat, you can
Yes,
proceed.
sir. Surya, can you have the question section or otherwise question put in a drop box?
No, sir, no, sir.
There is no question section.
No, sir, no, sir. There is no one asked
Okay.
any questions, sir.
Okay, okay,
Yes, sir.
okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
The essence of all beautiful art is gratitude. It's my privilege to be asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. With the blessings of late Colonel Dr. JPR, founder of JPR Educational Trust, I, on behalf of Kargil Vijay Divas event and the entire NCCQ of JPR Engineering College, here together extend my thanks to our distinguished chairman and managing director, Dr. M. Regina JPR, for being strong support to NCC. I would like to express my thanks to our principal, Dr. V. Nadarajan, for his moral support and guidance. I also wish to thank Commander G. Shivashankar, Executive Officer of 4th Naval Technical Unit NCC, for providing encouragement and conducting the live stream. I extend my very hearty gratitude to Retired Officer Major Madan Kumar sir for gracing your important work and sharing with us your knowledge and opinion today and making this event a great success. And I also wish to thank Retired Officer Captain Deenadayalan sir for supporting this event. Finally, I wish to convey my sincere thanks to all officers, TA staff, ANOs, NCC cadets, proposed students, and all other participants who have participated overwhelmingly and making this event a great success. Once again, I thank all for your cordial cooperation. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.
Yes, Jai Hind, sir.